Well, welcome to Verified Therapists. We're here, and I promise we're not talking about drugs.
Or are we? Sometimes we are talking about drugs.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. But I don't know. I no longer work in addictions either. So it's all like I used to hear about drugs 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now I don't.
How sad for you.
I know I hear about them like maybe 3 hours a week now.
Yeah. I hear about them at least 40 hours a week still. I'm living in that substance abuse life.
Hey, sometimes I miss it. I have my addiction certificate hanging on the wall up here. So.
Yeah. So you might not work in it, but you're certified in it, honey.
Mm-hmm. I'm still there.
Mm-hmm.
So
mine's hanging up in my well, is it mine in my office? It's in one of my offices, I think.
Did you also get your addiction certificate?
Mm-hmm.
It was worth it.
I didn't know what you were about to pull out. You were just pulling out your water. I didn't know what you were about to say. Oh my god. That sounds so cold and fresh.
It is.
Yeah, it sounds like it is.
A fancy fridge that has an ice maker
and
all that. And it's really funny because when I open the freezer part and I go to get the ice out, Jiggy comes running.
He knows.
He knows. He wants an ice cube. He likes to smack them around and play with them.
And make the floor all wet.
Yeah. So I'll just when he's done playing with it, because he usually only plays with it for a few seconds, but he comes running every time. I'll just go and put it in the water bowl for everybody.
Yeah. So. Conserving water around here.
Sorry, there's loud ass noise outside.
I feel like there's always something going down in your neighborhood when we're recording.
I don't know. Anyways,
there's always
couch
a noise.
Is gone.
Oh. The possibly bedbug couch. Well, I don't know that it had bedbugs in it, but it definitely had mold from the rain. Yeah. Oh, it definitely had wolf spiders.
So this week, we had, no, okay. I thought that was a bug. I was about to be well, scratch that. But anyway, so this week we had Pest Control come in. So the people that did our termite inspection for the house, they gave us instead of I guess an initial fee or whatever to come out and do an inspection, and then the first spray that was going to be $300. But they were since you did your termite inspection through us, we take everything off and you're good for 3 months. And I was
nice.
Okay. So they were we can come out and spray and do an inspection and blah, blah, blah. And good thing they did, because when the guy came to do the inspection, he walked around the house and then he knocked on my door and he was like, "Hey, it's a good thing we're here because you have a wasp nest on the side of your house."
Absolutely not.
Really? I was I've not seen one wasp. And he was then it's probably they probably just built that then. And I was great. And then as soon as I walk outside to take Millie out before they start spraying, because I was I got to take her out one more time, I see a wasp. And then I see another wasp. And I was oh, hell no. We're not having this. So they took care of that. And then they sprayed all around the house, the garage. They put up traps in the garage. And you should see those traps. It's insane.
What do they look like?
I mean, they're just like normal traps that are this big.
Yeah.
But it's little sticky pads and stuff. So the bugs go and crawl on them and then they get stuck in there. And there's so many spiders.
Oh my god.
And millipedes and stuff. So they were just yeah, so the spiders are probably feeding on the millipedes. Because we see a lot of those. And I was that's gross. And then they were spiders don't create webs. So whatever spider is creating all these webs, because we had a lot of webs in our garage, he was that's probably what's attracting the wolf spiders. Because they just, apparently wolf spiders don't create webs. What they do is they take over webs that are already there. So like other spiders spray webs and they just like come in and they take them over.
Oh my God, some Christopher Columbus wolf spiders.
I was like, that's invasive.
It very is. It's very invasive.
It's a little rude, you know. I guess whatever. I guess it's killing all the bad spiders. But yeah, they sprayed for everything, and it's all good. And it was really funny because as soon as they walk into my house, there was a wolf spider on my wall.
Oh my God.
I was like, cute.
Like, what are we going to do?
Oh. They were like, oh, that's just a little baby.
Oh, yeah. Just a little baby. Well, they're pest control, so they see, like, everything, and they're like, And I'm like, no. I hate bugs so much.
Well, the pest control guy hates bugs, too. Like, it was really funny because he was like, when he saw the spider, he was like, ugh.
Listen, I would freak out if a pest control man walked into my apartment and saw a bug and like backed up. We have a problem because you do this all day, every day. So if you're like backing up, what does that tell me about the spider that's in my house right now?
Yeah. There was a huge wolf spider in my garage. Like it was like this big.
Oh my gosh. Why? Why is this happening?
And like he like, you know, was going around and spraying it and sprayed it. And I was like, you are braver than I am. But he stood very far back when he was spraying it. I was like, but yeah, they cleared out all the webs. They cleared out like everything on the side of the house. They pretty much like cleaned it all up. Like if there's any webs or any nests or anything like that, they cleared it all up. And it's been really crazy to like go outside because like now that it's cured, Josh can mow the lawn now. Because I was like, he can do the little
What's that thing that you do outside? What's that thing?
Yeah, he can mow the lawn now, and I can like spray down the house with water to get all the dead bodies away because there is just bug carcasses everywhere. It's been crazy, but like it's been really peaceful to go outside and like sit for the past couple days because I'm just like, I don't have to worry about a wolf spider crawling over my foot.
And not like be terrified of like existing in your own yard.
That's all taken care of. And there's so many bug carcasses outside, especially on my back porch. I was like, okay. And they were like, yeah, you're going to see a lot of like dead bodies. That sounds really bad. Dead bodies. Dead bug carcasses.
Dead bug. I don't really know that carcasses is a better word, but
carcasses?
we're gonna go with it. Carcassi? Is that the
carcasses? I don't know. Whatever.
There's a lot of dead bug bodies.
There's a lot of dead bugs everywhere outside my house right now. It's crazy. But at least they're not bothering me.
At least they're not alive. Like, and listen, I'm all for like the ecosystem and there's purpose for everything. But I also live in the suburbs because I can't deal with the outside. So
yeah, I didn't move into this house to be dealing with wolf spiders. So
yeah, gotta shut that shit down.
Bugs in general, like the millipedes were getting like exhausting. Like I was seeing at least one a day,
and they're disgusting too because they got like all those little legs. Oh.
And then when you go to try to kill them, they like start like slithering, and I'm just like.
Yeah.
I just want to die. I want to die.
Let's not slither.
Yeah. So the pest control people, just to give you guys some education on pest control, it's better to use a company that comes out and sprays apparently because the spray that they use, like the bugs don't die on impact. They like have time to go back to like their nest or hills or whatever it is. And give that to the rest of the community, and it kills the whole community. So, like, they stay away for good. They were like, raid, just like one spare one can go back and tell, I guess, like the ant, like in the ant colonies, like they tell the mother, like the queen, and then the queen kills that colony and creates a new one and creates like 10 times more. So it's like raid just temporarily fixes the problem.
It's a very weird bureaucratical situation going on with the bugs.
Yeah. I was like, Okay. Y'all know a lot. That's like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. It's crazy that you know that much.
I think
sure
it's
my
weird
brother
that
knows this much too.
I'm sure he does. And I think it's very weird that the ant goes back and gives it to the queen, and then the queen kills all of her people and just makes a new colony.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Because I guess it's just like one infected person. They just kill everybody. And they're just like, can't have that. You're corrupting the herd. Like,
so then the queen is just like,
bringing the zombie apocalypse. And they're just like, nope. Patient 0. Yeah. We got to kill patient 0.
Gotta kill, yeah.
Just drops a nuke on the whole herd.
It's like the Hiroshima of like ant colonies. But then the queen gets out. The queen's like, I'm out. I'm building a whole new thing. Survive. Yeah.
We'll stop talking about bugs because that's just weird. But it is like it's a self-care thing because I don't want bugs in my house. And it makes me feel better. Yeah, because we don't have time for that. Yeah, because I like my self-care of like going and sitting out on the porch and not having to worry about bugs ruining my day.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't?
Let's go into our highs and lows for the week. Okay. And then we can talk about the wonderful things that has gone on with the Eras tour.
Okay.
You go first.
Okay. My low of the week, it's a pretty basic low. It's 600 degrees outside. And I'm tired of it. It's so freaking hot where we are, like, that if you're not, okay, we talked last week about, like, being a lizard and hanging out in the sun. Mm-hmm. I can do that, whatever. If I'm having to do anything, though, outside right now, I'm irritated. Like, I was just walking Max before we started recording. Irritated. It's hot. And, like, I was like, this is 100% melting the makeup off my face. This is what 100%, like, I'm sweating. I feel dirty. And, like, if I'm sweating because, like, I'm exercising, that's different than if I'm just sweating because I'm existing outside.
Yeah.
Because like, then I just come in and I feel gross.
Be existing and pouring sweat.
Yeah.
That was like me yesterday. That was not fun. I was just slowly walking and looking. And I was in the sun for 5 minutes. And it was like, melted. It's
miserable right now. And it's so humid. Like, I feel like it would be different. I've been to, like, Arizona where it's, like, this hot. But it doesn't feel the same because you can, like, breathe a little easier because it's dry heat. It is so freaking humid outside that it feels like you're in a swimming pool.
Yeah. Like, not only was it, like, 98 degrees yesterday, but it was, like, 80% humidity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Who do we talk to about that? Because we're done. It's been like this for, like, a week. And it's supposed to be over, well, they said it was supposed to be over today because we were supposed to get storms today. But it's nice and sunny outside right now, so.
Yeah. It rained a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool this morning at, like, 7, 8 o'clock. But now it's pretty fucking hot again.
Yeah. So. Yeah. We're supposed to be having a cold front moving in today or tonight or whatever. I wish it would get here now, though.
But that cold front doesn't even look like it's doing much. Like, it's still going to be, like, what? I think, like, 88, 90 degrees tomorrow. So, like, what is that cold front doing?
What are we doing? And I know that, like, we're in the heart of summer, so, like, I need to just shut the fuck up because this is what it is. But also, I'm melting. So, we need to do something different.
Slow, gradual buildup of the heat. Not just this, like, 1 week it's like 75 and sunny and like really nice, and then the next week it's like 102.
Yeah.
Like, hello. Can we slow down? I need
we got spoiled. My high is that I have stuck with my food and my water intake. Like, I'm exercising every day. Like, I'm doing it. That's good.
Snaps.
Yeah.
Snaps.
Yeah.
Yay.
You're
so excited.
I feel good. Yesterday, this isn't really a low, but, like, this is just something funny to go along with that. But yesterday, I got my groceries on Instacart, and my Instacart person, like, sent me a message, and she was like, hey, like, I'm really sorry, like, we're having issues with the Instacart card or whatever. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not a big deal. So she sends me a message and she's like, hey, can you send me your instructions? Because I'm checking out now, but like, it's deleted all the instructions and like, I have multiple orders and whatever. So I sent her the instructions and I hear a knock on my door. And if anybody knows me at all, if somebody knocks on my door, I'm not going to it immediately because I'm waiting for that person to leave so I can figure out what's going on. I heard a knock on my door, and then I get a message from my Instacart person that's like, okay, like, we're on your way. We're on the way now. Like, we just dropped off the first delivery. And I was like, well, then who just knocked on my door? So I go to my door. Not my order. There's 4 cases of Coke, like 3 or 4 pizzas, chips, cookies, like, I don't know if somebody was having like a party and that's what their order was. And it was not $110 worth of stuff, which is what I ordered, was $110 worth of stuff. So like, I open my door and I close it really fast and I stand there and I'm like, what do I do? Because like, I don't want to be like a Karen who's like, you dropped off the wrong stuff. And I live upstairs, like, now they're going to have to come up.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you're not a Karen because someone gave you the wrong order.
Yeah.
It's so okay for you to be like, hey, this isn't my order.
Well, and then I was like, there were 3 issues. 1, I got Max dog food. That was not delivered and he needs dog food. 2, I'm not eating anything like that. Like, I'm drinking only water. I'm not eating cookies. I'm not eating cakes. I'm not eating like tons of chips. I'm not doing that. So like, I can't eat any of this. Also, I paid $110 and that was not $110 worth of stuff. So I was like, so I messaged her and I was like, I'm so sorry to inform you, but this is not my order. And she was super nice about it. She was like, I was worried that might happen. I'm on my way back, whatever. But I was just like, I feel bad.
It's not your fault.
Because I was like, she's probably stressed. I know. I had to like really sit with that and be like, it's not my fault. Yeah.
Instacart's having issues.
Yeah. Because normally I probably would have been like, okay, this is just what I get. But like, I could not. There's no way I could have. Max needed food. I needed food. So there was just no way that I could have like.
Don't waste your money.
But, yeah.
I would have been fucked. Pizza, cookies, cupcakes.
Yeah. Also,
I couldn't eat anything. And I don't even like Coke. I hate Coke.
It was like literally a 24-pack of Coke and 2 12-packs of Diet Coke. And like, I love Diet Coke. I don't drink it a ton, but I love Diet Coke. But if that's in my apartment, I'm going to drink it. So like, I was like, I cannot have this here because I'm doing really well and not drink anything like that. So.
Listen, I tried Diet Coke for Taylor Swift. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But it is the one drink that I think tastes the most like Dr. Pepper that's not Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I do have to say. Like, it tastes a lot like Dr. Pepper. But it's still got that, like, aftertaste of Coke. And I'm just like, that's what I don't like about Coke is the aftertaste.
Yeah.
It's weird.
See,
it's weird to me.
I think I've told you this before, but, like, I like certain sparkling waters, and the Kroger brand lemon lime sparkling water tastes exactly like Sprite to me. So that's been a lot easier to use. And like, they come in like these, I have one right here, like these big like bottles.
Yeah.
So like, that has made it easier adjustment because it's water, but it tastes like Sprite, and you get carbonation from it.
Yeah. Lala's doing a partnership with a sparkling water company.
Really? Wonder what sparkling water company.
I don't know. It's like, I saw it the other day on her Instagram.
I'm still mad at her, so do I want to support that? I haven't decided. It's
Ninja Thirsty. So in like the Ninja, it's like little K-cups of sparkling water.
That's wild.
They have watermelon mint, pear lavender, and raspberry rose. Those all sound actually really good.
The raspberry rose one sounds really good. Now, I'm not huge on seltzer water, and like there's a difference. Like seltzer water is like not as flavorful, and it's like really you have like more like that tonic water vibe. So it's just I can do a lot of seltzer waters, but the sparkling waters I can. So
I do the Spindrift.
Yeah.
I got the blood orange tangerine this time. It is delicious.
That sounds good. Yeah.
So good. I love it.
We're big.
Speaking of drinks,
water people.
Yesterday at that winery festival that I went to, there was a woman that was selling, she dries fruit, and then she makes these little mixtures that are just like cocktails. And all you have to do is like add your own alcohol to it. And so I got the one that worked best with white wine. And I think it has like peaches, apples, cherries, strawberries. Like it's got a lot of stuff in it. And then I also got the frozen mix. That's a very, very lemonade. And she was like, you can just add gin or vodka or whatever you want to it and freeze it. And she's like, it's really good for the summertime by the pool.
That sounds really good.
Like, yeah. So you just have to like let the white wine like seep with it for I think 3 days it says. So
yeah,
I'll let you know how that tastes.
Yeah, that sounds like it's really good, especially right now when it's like really hot outside.
And she had one that was called the Gold Rush.
That sounds like really good. Yeah.
The Gold Rush. Do we have a Swiftie up in here? And also she had the edible glitter and stuff like that you put in there for the Gold Rush, and then she had a kiwi crush, and that had purple glitter. I was like, oh my god,
that's amazing. Yeah,
she was like, just add it at the end and like in the glass, and it's so pretty. I was like,
that's so cool.
What?
Bartending is like an art.
So she's out of Scottsville. And she says that she does these fairs all the time. Yeah, might have to hit her up again.
Yeah, sounds like it. She sounds like she knows what she's doing.
Maybe she can do a partnership with us.
Yeah. What's her name?
It's called the Ginger Gypsy.
The Ginger Gypsy in Scottsville. Wouldn't that be fun if we did a partnership with her?
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
I think we should do a partnership with the aura reading person.
Oh my god. You know what we should do? We should do like an aura reading party and then like record there.
That's
like at the party. Yeah. You're like, this is what they're saying right now.
Listen, you're listening to live brainstorming ideas happening right here in this moment.
Right here in this moment. So tell me about your highs and lows of the week.
This is why I asked you to go first, so it would like give me time to like think, and then like
But then you didn't think.
No, I didn't think. I want to say my high of the week is finding a really good book, and I'm so invested in it. And apparently this author has like 25 books, 26, 27 books or something. Like she's got so many books. It's Ellen Hildebrand, and I'm reading 28 Summers.
Okay.
It is so good. It is such like, it's not a hard read, but like it is like, it's a book like people say like her books are very like beach reads because they take place in Nantucket. And it's so good. I didn't think that I would like this because there is infidelity going on in this book. So I kind of like always am like weird about infidelity in books, but this is actually really good. And like
What's
it's
it
so
called?
much.
You said 28 Summers?
28 Summers, yeah. And it's so much deeper than like infidelity on the surface here. Like it's very deep and in depth, and I really like it. And I like her writing style too. Yeah, I think I just found like another like author whose books I'm just gonna like run with.
Just power through for a little bit. That's awesome. Yeah. I think I've heard of her maybe on like TikTok or something. But I've never read any of her books.
So good. And I went to the library to check it out. Can we just talk about for a second?
Yes.
What do we think about Stephen King? Like,
it's just so random. It's funny.
I just feel like it, like, for someone to have a mind to write, like, Cujo
Mm-hmm.
and the Langoliers and Children of the Corn and It.
Mm-hmm.
It. Okay, let's just talk about that.
Did he write Pet Sematary and Pet Sematary?
Yeah, he wrote Pet Sematary. And the Langoliers he wrote The Mist too.
He did write The Mist, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying. But the Langoliers is the one Stephen King movie that actually, like, has haunted me for the rest of my life from watching that movie. But then it was like another, like, one of those movies, like, you know, when you're a kid and you, like, see something that you think is, like, really disturbing, but then, like, you're a kid, so it's also, like, really fascinating and you're trying to, like, figure it out yourself. That was me with the Langoliers. I was just like, and so every time that I saw it on, I would watch it.
I'm very confused. Okay, so I've never even heard of the Langoliers, but let me just say that I'm seeing this picture on Google and I'm just very confused. What is that?
So,
did I just give you PTSD? This is very strange.
Like, as a kid, as an adult, the CGI on that, I'm like, ugh. But, like, as a kid, the CGI on that was, like, top notch. And honestly, I don't remember much about what it was other than, like, this group of people being stranded in this, like, I think it's either an airport or a mall. And the mall is, no, it's not a mall, it's an airport. Because the mall is the mall.
10 plane passengers who awake to find that everyone else on their Boston-bound jet has vanished.
Because and it's just like this, like, creepy, like, misty looking, like, just, like, cloudy thing, and like they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and then those things are out there.
Yeah, that's weird. They look like they look wild. There's teeth on them. Okay, Bob theorizes that the Langoliers are the timekeepers of eternity and that their purpose is to clean up what is left of the past by eating it. Stephen King, what's going on in your brain, bro?
Yeah, I really want to know, like, what his childhood was like. Like, that's, like, my big thing. It's like, I want to go back to Stephen King's childhood and talk to him about that.
Stephen King, are you okay?
Because, like, what was the motivation behind these stories? Like, yes, there's stories that are, like, a lot of them are fiction and, like, out of this world. Like the Langoliers, that's kind of out of this world. The Mist, that's a little out of this world. But, like, Cujo is not so much out of this world.
Right. And there's usually some kind of, like, bigger, like, even the Langoliers, it's not like there was, like, oh yeah, there was just these really weird looking things with teeth that were eating people. It was like some kind of there's always, like, some kind of sci-fi aspect where it's like a time warp or a different reality or something like that, you know?
Yeah, like the Mist is like this, like, hole into another universe, like, opened up, and, like, these creatures have come out from this, like, hole into another universe. I don't know, it's different. And, like, I mean, like, Pennywise is a demon.
Yeah.
Children of the Corn isn't that far off because I can see that in some parts of America. As disturbing as that is.
On the back roads that you're taking. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can see that happening. Like, people that live so far off the grid that they have no reality of, or, like, no sense of what the world looks like other than their little world. And that's it. What's another one? Pet Sematary. I feel like that's kind of demony too.
It is, yeah, because they all come back as, like, little demons.
Because he makes the dad makes a deal with a demon, essentially, to bring his kid back, and then it actually wakes up all these animals. So
yeah, Dr. Sleep.
That's disturbing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched that because I love sleep. That's why Nightmare on Elm Street freaked me out so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they would get caught in their nightmares.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing of like this is one of my greatest fears is not being present that these things are happening. So like me thinking that I'm asleep and like but actually I'm in the waking world and like all these like things are actually happening and I'm just like losing my mind or like I lose time or something like that. Like it's I think it really comes down to like psychosis. Freaks me out.
We're really scared of psychosis and detaching from reality.
Part. Yeah, I can't do that.
Did you know that Stand By Me from like the 80s movie? Mm-hmm. That's a Stephen King movie. Did you know that?
What happened in Stephen King's childhood? Again, because like that is a fucking heartbreaking movie.
It is. I'm gonna Google what is Stephen King's trauma.
This is so on brand for us too. Stephen King is in the fucking pop culture world.
His dad left him.
He's a Virgo. Oh my god, The Shining is also him. Carrie.
The pig's blood.
Listen, but Carrie isn't so out of this world.
No, I don't think it is either. Yeah.
Because, okay, so like Carrie has, what's it called? When you can move stuff like with your mind.
Telekinesis.
So like, the CIA have done studies and like documents have come out saying that like that's possible and people have done it. So like that's not so out of this world. Like that's believable. And that's disturbing because people are bullies like that too. Mm-hmm. And that's like, I think the disturbing part is like there can be abusive mothers and bullies at school and all those things. Yeah. So I think the CIA would have picked her up before that happened. Under the Dome. That's terrifying too. Have you ever?
Is that Stephen King?
Mm-hmm. Did you watch
Stephen
that show?
King? Yeah, I've heard of it. And let me tell you something. Stephen King is rolling in it because he is like in everything. Mm-hmm. He's involved in so much stuff. Oh, as a child, he saw his friend get hit by a train. But he doesn't remember any of it. So he blocked it out.
Well, the body keeps the score, Stephen.
And then his dad abandoned him. Okay, so he sees his friend get hit by a train, and then 2 years later, his dad abandons him, and then he starts writing these short stories. So
the Boogeyman is Stephen King.
Yeah. Oh, he had a terrifying babysitter. So he has trauma.
I don't know. Okay, so like I'm gonna be honest. I've watched a lot of Stephen King, but I've never read any of his books. And so like I wonder, like I've kind of like been thinking about reading one, but I don't know which one I would go with. What if I went with the Langoliers?
Let's not do that.
Gerald's Game? Oh my god, he wrote Gerald's Game.
So, and my best friend Angelica, she is an avid Stephen King reader. Like she reads, she's read so many of his books. She loves Stephen King.
So like can you ask Angelica like how in-depth and disturbing the books are? Yeah. Like I'm sure for
Are you trying to start with the Langoliers? Are you trying to start with like
see if she's read the Langoliers. See, like if I were to pick like 3 Stephen King books that I would read, it would be The Langoliers, The Mist, and Under the Dome. And those are all essentially like very similar.
They are.
But I am very fascinated by that. And those are more sci-fi than like I'm not really a fan of the demon stuff. So like Pet Sematary and It really freak me out.
Yeah. Watch this be one that she's like, no, I've not read it.
I think my mom has read Dreamcatcher. She's read a few. I know my dad has read a lot.
His first memory was getting stung by wasps and feeling pain. So, as you said before, the body keeps a score. So, that's where we're at. That's how we got where we got.
Mm-hmm. Oh, The Mist is a novella.
Not a novella.
Okay, so that would be like a pretty short read.
Yeah.
What if I listened to these on audio? How terrifying would that be?
You're really trying to just like solidify that Langolier trauma in your brain. You're really just trying to be like.
I wonder if it's on anything. Is the Langoliers available for streaming?
You're really trying.
Listen, The Mist came out with a TV show. So, like, I watched the movie whenever that came out. And then The Mist came out with a TV show, I think on Netflix. Back in, like, just a few years ago. And I watched that. And then there was... Langoliers is a horror miniseries consisting of 2 parts of an hour and a half each.
Honestly, those Langolier things, the ones with the teeth, they kind of look like the lavender haze clouds on the Eras tour.
That's where Taylor got her inspiration.
The Langoliers, Taylor's version.
The Langoliers is on Paramount Plus. Okay.
Welcome to the Eras tour.
Welcome to the Eras tour. We're not going to talk about that fucking idiot from Foo Fighters that be talking shit about Taylor Swift.
No, we're not talking about him. That's stupid. Yeah.
No. That's what we think. Anyways. And if you can't see me doing that, then just use your imagination. Anyway, since we're in this Taylor Swift series, we thought we would talk about the Eras tour that took place in London this week. She sold out 3 nights of Wembley this weekend. She has 8 shows there total. But this weekend kicked it off, and it was a weekend full of celebrities, musical guests, insane things happening just all around.
It's been the craziest week of the Eras tour, like the craziest weekend of the Eras tours I think we've seen so far.
And she didn't even like announce anything.
No,
like it was just Easter eggs popping up left and fucking right, or what we can assume is Easter eggs, and then just like people popping up left and right. It's crazy,
including the People's Princess, Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce. So for those of you who have not seen it on the internet, which I feel like by the time this goes out, we're going to have every single angle, every single just video of this happening. But Travis Kelce joined Taylor Swift on stage at the Eras tour.
Which is monumental. If you're not like a resident Swiftie, you don't maybe understand how big that is. Taylor has never done that with any of her significant others before.
Yeah. Like she performed with Joe Jonas, but Joe Jonas is a performer.
Right.
That's different. Calvin Harris never did that. She never invited him on stage because he was jealous of her success. Joe was hiding in a VIP tent the whole time. So now we have Travis joining her on stage. Like, I wonder what that conversation went down. Like, I wonder if she was just like, you know, what would be so much fun is if you joined me on stage. And he was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
or I wonder if he pitched it. Like, what if he pitched it? He was like, what if I joined you on stage? And she was like,
okay. Because here's the thing is, like, Travis, like Joe, is in the VIP tent, right, whenever he can. Joe, though, did not interact with fans. He kind of, like, stayed in the back, had his little baseball cap on. Travis interacts with fans, does friendship bracelets, and then he's, like, killing it in the tent the whole time. Like, he's dancing, he's singing, he's having, like, the time of his life every time that we've seen him.
Yeah. And, like, he is not afraid to show her off either. And, like Joe went to... I've seen footage of him at one Taylor Swift show. And that was the opening of the Reputation Stadium tour. that's the only footage I've seen of him. And based on like what we're getting now, I feel like maybe he was at one or two other shows. But even in the Miss Americana documentary, he was wearing the same outfit that we see that he was in the opening of the tour. So I don't really know if he went to any more shows. And like people could say like, oh, he was working, he's an actor, blah blah blah. What was he really in back then? And Travis was going to visit her in Argentina during football season.
I just feel like that Travis Kelce loves her very loudly. And, like, nobody else has really done that before. Like, you just see Travis having fun. Like, Travis likes being the guy on the Chiefs when she sings about him, you know? Whereas Joe seemed more like, he almost seemed, like, nervous to be, like, because she sang Gorgeous and would, like, kind of direct that at him.
And, like, he would, like, like, smile kind of goofy and everything. But, like, also it kind of just seemed like he didn't really want the attention on him. And, like, that's okay. Like, if you don't want the attention on you, that's perfectly fine. That's okay. But, like, maybe Taylor Swift isn't the right girlfriend for you if that's the case. Because she is a Sagittarius. And it always goes back to astrology. But she's a Sagittarius. She wants to be loved out loud. And she likes being center of attention. And I think she likes Travis other people lifting her up.
And I think Travis is so confident and grounded and like he doesn't really care. Like, I just don't think that he cares. Like, I don't think that he cares if people are hating on him or not. Like, I just think that he's like so grounded in who he is that like the noise doesn't really bother him, and that's what she needs, you know, because there's going to be noise.
That's going to be like, oh, well, this headline came out today, but like, I don't really give a shit. Like, you know what? We're going to still go out on the town and like paparazzi are going to catch us no matter what. So like, let's just keep going. Let's just keep doing it. Because you can tell, like, if you see a grainy paparazzi picture, they're at least 2 miles away, people. And that's fucking disturbing.
The ones that they took of them when they were in that house, they stayed like that. They rented that house. Wasn't it? Where were they at in Paris? Was that where it was?
I think so. Yeah.
And it was like them on the balcony and stuff. I was like, just let these people just like live and hang out. But
no. It's so creepy.
I
don't know. Like, and the pictures of them on the boat too was a little creepy too, because it's just like,
just let them live.
I don't know. It's just weird and creepy.
But there were so many celebrities there. The VIP tent was stacked all 3 nights.
So let's go through the list. So we had Theo James, Liam Hemsworth, Kate Blanchett, Sophie Turner, Salma Hayek, Gracie Abrams, Greta Gerwig, Tom Cruise, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Paul McCartney, Jason and Kylie Kelsey, Hugh Grant, Nicola Coughlan, Ellie Goulding, Prince William and his kids, Bon Jovi, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Jamie Dornan, Rachel Zegler, Jonathan Van Ness, Andrew Scott, Piers Morgan, Zawe Ashton, and Cara Delevingne.
And I mean, when you see any video of any of the Wembley VIP tents, they're having so much fun.
So much fun. Also, I think I read one singular Haim sister was there, and I think it was Alana.
One singular Haim sister.
I think it was Alana. Because she's the shortest one. So I was like, I think that's Alana that I see back there.
And I loved seeing Jason Kelsey and Kylie Kelsey there. And Jason Kelsey had so many friendship bracelets.
Yeah, he had them like draped over his ears.
And there's like this video, I don't know if I sent it to you on TikTok, but it's like everybody else in the VIP tent is like going nuts and singing because it's like during the folklore era. And you can tell that Jason like knows her main stuff, like Shake It Off and stuff, because he was like dancing to those things. But he's in the folklore era, and he's just like leaning against the wall.
He's just like, He doesn't look bored. He just looks like he's trying to take it all in.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
And holy shit. And that's probably like 2 hours into the set too. And he's just like, this girl's still going.
Yes. Well, and also like everybody that struggles with like overstimulation, not that that's what he was doing, but it reminded me of like when I was at the Eras tour, like there's a second that you're there and you're like, this is very overstimulating because it's like so loud and there's so many people and it's amazing and it's wonderful and I would do it all again 100 times. But sometimes you do have a moment where you're like, whoa, this is a lot to take in.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that's why I liked, like the first night I was in just like level 200 and was just like standing the whole time, dancing the whole time, all of that. And then the next night when I was in the suite, I got to sit down. So like during the Folklore and Evermore set, I sat down. I think during Speak Now, I sat down.
Right.
There was a few sets where I just like got to rest my feet, which I really appreciated. Whereas like if I was in the regular crowd, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Right.
So I understand having to stand for that long and dance and be up and moving. It's a lot.
Yeah. When you go to the Eras tour, you're like, it's an event. Like you're going, like I remember like the day before I was like beefing myself up and I was like, this is an all day thing. So like round the troops because we're going to be up all day doing this all day. So
all day and all night, especially for you.
Yeah. Until 2 a.m. as luck should have it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just like a huge celebrity guest list. And then tonight, which is how we know Taylor Swift listened to our episode from last week.
She so did.
We got Out of the Woods mixed with Is It Over Now mixed with Clean, which is all the songs that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
And we talked about her mashing up All Too Well and Is It Over Now.
So Taylor, I know you're listening to this, girl. We want to be in the VIP tent. So Indianapolis, can you hook us up?
Yeah, hook us up to the VIP tent in Indianapolis, please.
I'll be right there with Jason Kelsey with my friendship bracelets in my ears, just like vibing.
Oh yeah, we'll be vibing. Straight up vibing. It will be so much fun. What else? Oh, she played Us, which is with Gracie Abrams, which is a song that just came out on Gracie's new album that came out Friday. And it's a gorgeous song. And if you haven't seen the clip of them almost burning Taylor's house down.
Yes.
It's
really so funny.
Yeah.
She's just one of us, you know?
Yeah. And how she was like trying to get the fire extinguisher and she was like, bitch.
Yeah.
I was like,
I felt so seen in that moment. Never connected with her more than in that moment.
Because, like, who hasn't called an inanimate object a bitch or, like, a fucking idiot or something like that? Because we're so annoyed with it. It's like, work!
Yeah.
And that was a life or death situation.
Yeah.
But I like how Benjamin came around the corner and was just like, Mom, you good?
What's happening
like,
here?
What the hell is happening? Like, I'll leave for 2 seconds and y'all almost burn this bitch down? Okay. He's like, where's Meredith and Olivia when you need them?
It's been a week as a Swiftie. Not to mention we have gotten a lot, and I hate to say it because she just gave us 2 albums. Like, I'm really trying to just be like, chill and be happy with what you got. But there are some things that appear to be Easter eggs to a possible Reputation, Taylor's version, on the horizon. Yeah.
We're not going to go through all the Easter eggs because there is
so many.
And like, I don't even know if I could spot all of them, but there have been a lot of glitches. There's been a lot of 6s. There's been a lot of 2s. I don't know what the 2s are again. She keeps doing these 2s and I'm like,
the 2s. Yeah.
What is that? The bracelets that you get at the concert have been lighting up green.
They have been, yeah. Which is what they did before Speak Now in 1989.
And also Saturday, she played Thank You, Amy and Mean mashed up. And for those of you who don't know, Thank You, Amy is about Kim Kardashian.
Right before that, she also was like, When People Talk Shit.
Mm-hmm. I thought she was going to play I Did Something Bad.
I did too, and then I was going to lose my mind. I was going to throw up, actually. So.
Is she doing it? Is she doing it? No. But I think that's still another Easter egg. And then she played Castles Crumbling with Hayley Williams, and Hayley Williams popped up to sing it with her. And I was like, that's another Easter egg, because that's a situation about, like, that's a song about the situation with Kanye. So I'm like, it all, like, kind of connects. And I'm like, she is hinting at things.
Yeah. And she loves to do that. Like, people make fun of Swifties all the time because they're like, you read into everything and everything. But she has literally been known to say, like, she does that stuff because it makes it fun for her fans to do it. And it makes it fun for her to see us guessing certain things. So.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, she's kind of just like with us in Reputation, like, she's like, can y'all just, like, chill out for 2 seconds, please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Please. But on Friday, this is how I also know that she listens to the podcast, because we talked about the Black Dog and Come Back Be Here as being, like, one of, like, our favorite songs. So, like, we've talked about the Black Dog being our favorite song off of Tortured Poets, and then we talked about Come Back Be Here being our favorite song off of Red. And she mashed those up.
Yeah. Like the devil that she is, we turn on. Actually, I think Kate texted me and was like, "This live stream is happening right now," and I turned on the live stream and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!"
Like, she is playing the Black Dog right now. What is happening?
What's happening?
And then when Come Back Be Here, I was like, I can't even, like, breathe. And then she mixed it with Maroon. And at this point, Homegirl has played Maroon as a surprise song, like, 20 fucking times. So, like, just add it to the set list if you love it that much, Tay-Tay. Come on.
Which is fair. Listen, we talked about this. We could write a whole dissertation on Maroon.
She also played on the guitar that night. She played Death by a Thousand Cuts and Hits Different, which is, like, 2 of her most phenomenal bridges. Mm-hmm. And she said that too, like, she loves bridges, and, like, these are 2 of her favorite bridges. And I'm just like, yeah, it's understandable, because those are some of your best writing.
Yes, they're so good.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about Lover or Midnights yet. I wonder if one of those is going to pop up tonight.
I'm wearing my You Need to Calm Down shirt. I'm manifesting.
I'm wearing my Clothes Over Bros shirt,
which I love. We love a Brooke Davis moment.
Yeah, we're supporting Brooke Davis right now. Oh, when she was singing So High School, she did, like, the Archer move that Travis Kelce does. She was waving at him. She was smiling. They were giggling like a bunch of in love teenagers throughout, like, the whole thing. It was so cute to see. But also, I'm kind of like I love seeing people take videos of Travis.
Yeah.
And the VIP tent and everything. But I'm also just kind of like, I don't know. I have a hard time grasping it, because I'm just like, I love seeing these videos. They're so cute. But then I'm also like, can we not just give them their privacy and not have someone videotaping their every move throughout this entire concert?
Yeah.
Like, I love the content, but I'm also like,
yeah,
I don't know. It feels invasive. It feels paparazzi-ish. So I don't know. I don't know how they feel about it. It's all up to how they feel about it, though. But I know I would be, like, really insecure if I knew that there was a camera on me the whole time. Right. Somewhere. Because I act a fool at a concert.
Yeah.
A fool.
Well, because here's the thing, too. Like, if he doesn't respond in a certain way, or it's just so easy for people to speculate. You know, like, if he's not, like, going crazy at So High School for a night, are they there? Well, Travis doesn't care. Trouble in Paradise, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so, like, it's like a microscope is on him, I'm sure, at those concerts.
Yeah. But I did like the video of Prince William dancing to Shake It Off. That shit was hilarious.
It was so funny. Like, his daughter, Charlotte, is over there just like,
She's
and he is like,
she's like singing.
He's like losing his fucking mind. If you haven't seen that video and you're not one of like my 5 closest friends on TikTok who I sent it to, I'm sorry, but like go to freaking TikTok and type in Prince William dancing to Shake It Off. Best video that you'll see all week.
It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a video that you would expect because when I saw the caption, because it like pans to him. Yeah. So like when I saw the caption, it was like Prince William dancing. I was expecting him to be like, oh, I was not expecting what I saw. And you know what? Good for you, Prince William. Seriously.
I can be a Prince William hater sometimes. Like, I can be a Prince William hater because I'm like, you're a lot like your dad. That was Princess Diana, if I've ever seen it. Reincarnated is what that was. Yeah.
But yeah, like, I agree. But that's me at a concert, too. So it's like, do you really want to see that for 3 hours? Like, do you really just want to sit there and record me for 3 hours while I look like that?
Yeah. Also, me at the Eras Tour.
Oh gosh. Anyways, I wanted to see Theo James. People needed to like zoom in on him. I just saw him walking through the crowd and like talking to someone in the VIP tent, and I was just like,
"What are you doing there? Shake it off."
I've been in love with that man since Divergent.
He is good looking. Yeah,
he is, and he was such a dick in this last season of White Lotus. He was such an asshole in it, but it was so good. It was not what I was expecting his character to be. The White Lotus it's a really good show. It's a really like, I don't know how to describe it, like a show that you do not expect. It's just like, it's different, but I like it.
I've heard that's really good.
So, we are about to start Taylor Swift Russian Roulette. So here we go. It's Evermore. That's Evermore. That's Tortured Poets. Death by 1,000 Cuts.
I manifested it.
Did we? No, we said Midnights last week.
We said Midnights last week.
Yeah.
I love I love Lover though.
Yep.
It's in my holy trinity. You know how, last week I said that you can't really have favorite Taylor Swift albums because they're all so different, which is very true. But everybody has their holy trinity of like 3 that they're just like, mine is Reputation, Lover, and Tortured Poets. So.
We are talking about Taylor Swift's first album after she leaves Big Machine Records. So this is her first album that she comes out that she owns.
And it's so good.
Yeah, so proud of her for this. I will say, I do think she could have gone a little bit stronger with the first single. Not saying that Me is like a weak single, but I think it encapsulated the album of like, I think that like, I love you, I love me, I love the world, everybody deserves love. I think Me encapsulates that. However, there was a lot of parts of Me that like, I think people didn't catch on to. Yeah. It wasn't like, it's a catchy song, but like, I think it's a song that like, it's not a fan favorite, and that's why we don't see it on the Eras tour. And I think she saw that it wasn't a fan favorite.
It's a radio song, is what it is. And I think, you know what I think? Like looking back on that, I'm wondering if because this is the first time that she didn't have Big Machine Records, and this was her first one that she owned and like had that kind of like control over. I wonder if she went with one that was a more radio-based song because she didn't have that big backing. So she was like, I need something that will at least hit the radio. Yeah. And get out there on its own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Me came out April 26, 2019. So, okay. He is here. Binks is here, everybody.
Binks is here to produce us.
He takes his producing job very seriously.
Yeah. He's the hardest worker on the podcast, actually.
Yeah. So I will tell you where I was when Me came out.
Okay.
So Me came out. Well, she like announced. We all were suspecting that she was going to announce a single during when she was like predicted to be at like the NFL draft and was like talking and blah blah blah. And so we all knew a single was coming, and it was coming out like that night, and all the good things. The music video came out too, and the music video is her most colorful music video ever. Yes. And we also got the song with Brendan Urie. Sorry. I always call him Brandon. Like Brandon.
Brandon Urie.
Like the Reputation ended, like the tour ended in like December, I believe, or October. She produced Lover with Jack Antonoff, Joel Little, Louis Bell, and Frank Dukes. So during this album, she has described it as a love letter to love. The album explores a wide range of emotions like infatuation, commitment, lust, and heartache. And then a few songs discuss political issues such as LGBTQ rights and feminism. The production incorporates a 1980s inspired electro pop, pop rock, and synth pop. And the first single was Me. So I was watching that NFL draft like it was nobody's business. Obviously, my husband was watching it. We weren't married at the time, but obviously he was watching it. And he was like, "You are literally only watching this for Taylor Swift." And I was like,
"Yeah,
yes, I am.
So true.
I really am." And that was like, she was Easter egging, and like she had murals going up, and she had a big butterfly mural that went up in Nashville in the Gulch. And I was actually flying out. Me and Josh were actually going to LA just like a couple weeks after this. So we flew out of BNA, and I was like, we should go check out the mural in Nashville. And we went to go look, and it was gone.
Oh,
I
loved the butterfly mural. I think that's why I like Lover so much, because the whole, I know I don't appear as that now because I'm wearing a black shirt, but that aesthetic fits me now. Like those colors and like that, those are my favorite like kind of color schemes. That's what my office is done in at work. Like the pastel colors, like the pastel pinks and the pastel blues and those kinds of things. So like I loved her butterflies and all of these things because that's just my vibe. So I was immediately in on it before I even heard it.
Yeah. And I like that, like, at the beginning of the Me music video, it was kind of like a closeout to Reputation era, which, like, we've talked about Reputation being, you know, like, it is the first album where we get songs about Joe, and it is a very, like, I love you type album. But it is very dark because there was a lot of dark things going on at the time. So, like, this was, like, the Me music video starts out with a white snake, and that snake explodes into butterflies. And I think that was like a good way to like close the chapter on Reputation of like, we're done being dark and we're going to be happy and we're going to go into the light and step into the daylight and let it go. And that's why I think Daylight closes out this album, and that's why I think it is like a perfect closeout song.
Yeah.
Because Miss Americana came out in 2020. And Miss Americana has a lot of like Reputation stadium tour, but it's also because like I think that was when it was really filmed, but it also has a lot of like Lover, like it is like a step into Lover, and like I mean it's part of the Lover era, Miss Americana, and it's such like a door open. I don't want to say a door open. I want to say like we got to see the door cracked into Taylor Swift's life, because all the documentaries that she's done, she's never really let us see. She's kind of been like, tour this, and that's it. It's never been like, well, let's get behind the music. Here's my writing process. Here is what inspired this. Here's my political views. put out there.
See that on there.
Which is huge during this time. Like, I mean, it says it in Miss Americana too. Like, people thought she was like a huge, like, right-winged Republican, and like, she's not. And I think also You Need to Calm Down, which was the second single that came out in June, which it came out during Pride Month, which we love a queen that knows her audience. And the music video is full of people in the queer community. And just like, she took a stance, and she says this in Miss Americana too, like, she knew what she wanted to say, and she said it.
Yeah.
And she didn't hold back. And she didn't care if it pissed people off.
Yeah.
Because if you're a homophobe, don't listen to the album.
Right. That's right, Binks. That's what always stood out to me was like, so and it's gone around on TikTok too, like, but you remember like her having that conversation with her dad and her mom about like her security and what that's going to look like if she speaks out against like Donald Trump, who was running at the time. And I'm dead. And so but we remember that kind of that round table that they have about it. And her last like thing that she says is like, I need you to forgive me because I'm doing it. So basically like, I hope you can see past this, and I hope that like you can understand that this is important to me because I'm doing it anyways. You know?
She talks about it like during this time period. So 2017 was obviously like Reputation time period, but that was her sexual assault trial. And it's talked about in Miss Americana. And I think like what she talks about, like the way that she was treated in that courtroom, she saw how women were treated and picked apart. And I hope Josh cutting the grass does not pick up.
I can hear it.
Right there.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Like her sexual assault trial, she says this in the documentary, that like it pushed her to be like, okay, well, I have stuff to say and I'm going to say it. And she also got to see how women were treated in a courtroom, which is like absolutely disgusting. Like you're there. She says this, like there's a picture, there's witnesses, there's all these people that saw it happen, and there's a picture evidence of it. And the defense still tried to pick apart her credibility and tell her like, well, it's not real. Like, you obviously liked it because you didn't scream, you didn't say anything like in the moment. And it's like, she really saw, I mean, she's seen it for years with the treatment of her and her dating life. But I think like the sexual assault trial was really like a wake up call of like, oh, well, I want to actually make some changes and be in support of women and minority populations because they're suffering.
And again, I think that she did not have Big Machine Records behind her pulling strings on what she was. Yeah, pulling strings on what she was and was not going to say, what she was not going to put out there, what she was and was not going to record. She did it on her own, and that's why, like, when I think of Lover, it just feels very freeing. You know, not just necessarily of like the love, like this romantic love, but also like she almost like loved herself more in that era. It seemed like, you know, I mean, she had just come out of this really dark place and really a place of like a lot of brokenness for her that she talks about in the documentary. And then she found this kind of like safe person, and like I think she was navigating on how to love herself and love her life again, you know?
It's really beautiful to see that because, I mean, the album starts out with I Forgot That You Existed, which is a callback to, I think, not only like the relationship with Calvin Harris, but I think it's like Kanye and Kim. And just kind of like I'm in such a happy place in my life. Like I woke up one day and I forgot that all this bad shit happened to me. Because it doesn't matter anymore. Because I'm past it and I'm through it and I have a support system that's helping me here.
Yeah.
And then we get Cruel Summer, which is the second song on the album. Which like Cruel Summer, when the album first came out, was like obviously a fan favorite. Like everyone loved it, but she didn't release it as a single. She released it as a single after Eras tour, so it became a single June 13th, 2023.
So late in the game.
Yeah, so like almost 4 years after the album dropped, she drops this as a single. But it like really does show that like, because Lover didn't get as much attention as it should have, as being like creatively and just all around like the lyricism of the album and the era in general. Like I think like she dyed the ends of her hair different pastel colors. She wore bright colors. Everywhere you saw her, she was in like super bright pastel colors throughout this entire era.
Right.
And I don't think that it was appreciated.
Yeah.
At all. So when the Eras tour started and she opens with Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, and she opens with the Lover era and then goes into Cruel Summer, I think people were kind of like, oh shit, this is a song that we can like scream. And because I mean, she says it in the, like before the first bridge, she's like, y'all know the words to this bridge? And then like she says something sassy, like, prove it. Or what did she say to us in Nashville? I think she was just like in Nashville, she was just started stomping and she was like, let's go. I was like, damn.
Okay, Taylor. Okay, here we go.
Yes, mother.
But it is,
we will start
like
singing.
if you hear that bridge, it is one that you're like, it's a good ass bridge.
It is. And I think like this album in general like has some of the best bridges. Like we have 5,000 Cuts on here. Daylight is such a good, Cornelia Street.
I was literally just listening to Cornelia Street. Lover's like one of her most romantic songs, if not the most romantic song that she's ever.
Yeah. So I have a funny story with Lover.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told this on, I probably did, like when we came back. It just reminded me because Buc-ee's is now open.
Yes.
And so I thought back to my last experience at Buc-ee's, which was the bachelorette trip with my best friend. And how there was a truck backing into her car and she started screaming like that was going to stop this truck from backing into the car. And just like the whole time that this whole situation was going down and it was like freak out mode, Lover was playing. It was just like, you're mine. And like she's like, it's so funny to just think back to that. But yeah, Lover was released as a single just like a few days before the album dropped. I remember we got the Easter egg because at first when Me dropped, we didn't know the name of the album. She was still like gatekeeping that. It was in the background of the Me music video. There was like in the streets, like you can see like in Paris of the streets, like, there is a huge sign that says Lover. And she gaslit us. She was like, nobody's found it yet. Thanks. He's out. He's gone. You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
You're fired for the day.
Come on. Boots are out. Okay. The producer is gone. We're on our own.
We're on our own.
And she gaslit us. So thank you, Taylor, for gaslighting us.
Yeah, we appreciate that. But she did because she was like, nope, it's not.
She was like, no one's found it yet. And like everyone was like, Lover. And she was like, keep searching, guys. Ma'am? And then when she dropped it, I was like, are you kidding me?
We knew it.
We also got so like when the album dropped, we got 4 different like versions of it.
Yeah.
And so we also got her diary entries. Like, she put a lot in these 4 different, like, booklets. There was a CD that had different songs where she was, like, writing in her writing process and everything, kind of like first draft. She does that a lot with her albums. She gives us, like, first draft little notes and, like, voice memos. That's what they're called. And she did that and 4 different copies of these books, and they each had different diary entries in them. I have 2 of them. Did you get any?
I didn't get any, no.
Yeah, I have 2 of them, and they also came with posters. But yeah, they were, like, really cool diary entries that spanned from, like, either her childhood to, like, just a few months prior. And it was really cool to see, like one of them, she talks about, like, her relationship with Joe, and she's like, no one, it was January of 2017. It's just like, we've gone this long, and, like, no one even knows that we're dating. Like, the world doesn't know. It's just me and you throughout this. And I think that's what, another thing that makes her relationship with Joe so special is because it was, for the first time in her life, it was just, like, especially at the beginning, it was just them in this little bubble. Yeah. Just musically, like, the song Lover, like, if you've never heard Lover, you're living under a rock.
Yeah.
But it is, like, I mean, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? Which is, like, a wedding. And it's got, like, wedding vibes throughout, like, the whole song.
It does.
Like, it's kind of like vows. Like, the bridge is her vows to him. And I think that's really beautiful. And I think that's another reason why, like, it is so heartbreaking to see, like, the videos from the Eras tour last year, like, when she was going through the breakup. Her, like, crying throughout singing these songs.
Yeah. So, like, Reputation, I feel like, is, like, the honeymoon phase of it, almost, where it's, like, this is exciting, and this is new, and this is, like, I'm kind of getting lost in this. Lover felt more to me as, like, okay, this is, like, becoming more stable. Because you also kind of get songs like The Archer that are really, like, anxiety-ridden, almost. Of, like,
Cornelia Street is anxiety-ridden, too.
Yes. And it was like, what are we gonna do with it? Like, what am I gonna do? Jesus Christ, what's going on with our mics today? But what am I gonna do if this ends? Like, what? You know, The Archer. If anybody's ever listened to The Archer, the music of The Archer is like a constant suspense. There's no, like, you feel like there should be a drop in the music, and there never is. And I think that the purpose of that is so, like, to feel that anxiety of, like, you know, who could ever leave me? Who could stay? Is this person going to stay? I don't know. Like, if I'm going to stay, if they're going to stay, is this going to last? And, like, just that anxiety of, like, this is getting serious, this is getting stable, and that's kind of scary.
Lover is full of anxiety-ridden songs, I think. Like, I mean, just, like, Cruel Summer, too.
Yeah.
That's an anxiety-ridden. It's a fun, but it is an anxiety-ridden song of just, like, there's no rules. So, like, you can leave whenever, I don't care. But also it's kind of like, I want you to stay, but also I know, and, like, that goes into The Archer, too. Like, I want you to stay, but, like, I don't know if I'm going to fuck it up. Because I've fucked it up. And, like, it's also kind of like a blaming song. Like, on this album, too, she puts Soon You'll Get Better, which is a song with the Dixie Chicks, or the Chicks. And it's a song written to her mom, which just shows, like, not a romantic love, but a love for her mom. And of just kind of, like, she says in the song, like, who am I supposed to talk to if there's no you? And it's basically referring to her mom's cancer diagnosis. Kind of like their whole lives changing because of that.
Yeah. So, like, it's a love letter to love, but it's also, like, fear-based. You know, a lot of fear if I'm going to lose these people. A lot of
fear and anxiety here.
Yeah. And I think Afterglow is like that, too. Like, Afterglow is like, and I love Afterglow, but it's like, I've caused this huge mess. Okay, well, tell me it's going to be okay. Tell me and give me that reassurance that we're fine. Just tell me over and over again that things are okay and give me that reassurance that I need.
Amazing bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like a bridge that is just like I can picture her like singing the bridge that's like where she's like, tell me that it'll be fine. Like, tell me it's gonna be all right. Like just sitting there like begging this person,
pleading,
like tell me everything's gonna be okay just because I made a mistake and I said something wrong and like.
Mm-hmm.
But then like on the other hand, like with the anxiety songs, which I think she writes perfectly, which we've all felt that way, like in a relationship. When this album came out, I was 2 years into my relationship with Josh, and that was like the longest non-breakup that I had ever experienced in my life, like relationship straight through, not on again, off again, whatever, straight through. And it was still like anxiety ridden for me. Like I felt that too of like when Cornelia Street came out, I was like, oh hell yeah. I feel that too, because if we ever broke up, I would never go back to my hometown. Like you would not catch me dead in my hometown.
Right.
If we broke up. Like just kind of like being in a healthy relationship sometimes can feel very like walking on eggshells. Like you're kind of like well, I'm used to things ending. So when is it going to end?
I don't know how to have a healthy dynamic. Yeah.
So when you're in a healthy relationship, you have anxiety that you're going to mess it up. And that's what I hear throughout like this whole album. But then you have the fun ones, the fun songs of like I Think He Knows and London Boy and Paper Rings.
False God, I think, is slept on.
False. False God.
That jazzy, like bluesy sound is so good.
It's it's just like, I don't know, like it's a song that like you want to like sensually dance to and just like move your body and all of that stuff. And it's like, it's also a song.
Oh God!
So a lot of this album is played on The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Of course it is.
So like when Conrad walks out for the first time, Lover starts playing. When Belly is getting ready to go to Cousins Beach for the first time we see her going to Cousins Beach, Cruel Summer is playing. Yeah. And so False God plays. And it's like an instrumental of False God.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just like the jazz part, like and like the saxophone just playing like over and over during like one of like Belly and Conrad's like intense conversations with each other. Yeah. And it's so good. And then like you just hear her voice pop up every once in a while, and it's just like we might just get along. And then it's like,
again, is Taylor in the room with us?
Is she in the room? Is she here? Obviously, I'm not a singer, people, so don't judge me.
Don't listen to her. That's Taylor.
It just, I don't know. It fits, and it's so good. Also, I just want to know how the season 1 of The Summer I Turned Pretty had a budget for all of these songs.
They were probably like, we're going to cut out on a lot of things. We're not cutting out on that.
Well, like music-wise, they did not cut out on that. Because they had just go look at the playlist for season 1 of The Summer I Turned Pretty. You know every single song.
They went all out on the music.
They did. It's insane. They had like 6 Taylor Swift songs in the first season.
You don't get any better than that. Daylight.
Oh my God.
Is one that I could not listen to for a couple of years. Thanks to, if you want a reference for that, just go listen to The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived on the Tortured Poets Department. But anyways, recently we have started to be able to listen to it again, and it's fine. But I loved the concept of like, this is why I could not listen to it for a while. But anyways, the concept of like, I don't know, it reminded me of like when someone's been a part of your life for a long time, and then you don't like see it, but then you see it one day and you can't unsee it. Yeah. That's what Daylight reminds me of, you know? And it's a very like warm, like this make like, oh yeah, like now I'm seeing this. And I thought love looked like this, but actually it looks like this, you know?
Yeah, because it refers back to Red, you know, like one of her, at the time, like one of her most heartbreaking albums of like, I once believed love was burning red, but it's golden, like Daylight. And it's just like, and it's also like, I mean, you can see the anxiety parts of it too, of kind of like her reflecting back on like past relationships, but like, and that kind of like what she talks about in, where does she talk about them playing cat and mouse? I think he knows.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of refers back to like other songs on the album too, of kind of like them playing like cat and mouse, and like she's like, we throw our daggers down and like we're done with that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And we are serious about each other, and like this is what love looks like, and this is what like love isn't this like high emotional up and down roller coaster. Like it doesn't have to be like that. It can literally just be like stepping into the sunshine and feeling the sun hit your face.
So good.
I'm gonna cry. Like,
yeah.
Am I getting emotional?
Yeah. Over Lover. Yeah.
But like it is, because I mean it's one of my favorite songs that she's ever written, because the bridge is so beautiful. And like her voice is fucking angelic during the bridge. Like it just goes like up, and it just like floats into the air. And I'm just like, that is, and like the piano part of it, like just everything about that song screams Daylight to me. Like I don't know how else to describe it. It screams like daylight, golden. Like if you could
seeing the sun come up.
Yeah, like if you could describe the color gold to a blind person, like that's what I would be like. Just go listen to Daylight. Like that's how I would describe it.
And like the lyrics of that, like, and again, I resonated with it a lot not at the time that it came out, but you know, the feeling though of like, now that I've seen you, I cannot see anything else, you know, or now that I've thought of you, I can't think of anything else. Like this just, now that light has slipped on, and I think about it as like somebody's like, you're on like a really cold, dark hillside, and then the sun comes up and you're like, oh yeah, like, you know, this makes so much sense, and this feels so good, and this feels so safe, and like, this is what it's supposed to be like, you know?
Yeah, like pain doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
Because she says this in the song too, like she kind of thought like she was, like it sounds like, it also reminds me like a little bit of like the prophecy too part of like, of like she's like kind of like feeling like, oh, well, I'm going to be alone forever. But then like this person comes into her life and she's like, oh, wow, okay. This is what love is supposed to look like.
And honestly, like I know that like at the time it was written about Jo and this is how she felt, but you almost, I feel like I see Daylight with Travis and Taylor. And like, I don't know their relationship, but you know, the last line, or one of the last lines of the Tortured Poets Department is like, at last she knew what the agony had been for. And that's what I feel like it was. Like, I don't know. They could break up tomorrow. You know, we don't know their relationship, but I see that relationship as like a physical embodiment of Daylight for her.
I do too. And you can see the happiness. Like like that picture I showed you at the beginning that I saw them on stage. Like you can just see the happiness like radiating out of both of them. And like I think that's why like people are like, why is everyone so obsessed with this couple, and like blah blah blah, why do y'all keep talking about it? It's like because we get moments like that. Like we love seeing people happy, and we love seeing someone who can write a song like All Too Well 10-minute version get her Daylight.
Yeah. Boom.
So shut the fuck up, people.
Yeah.
Just let people be happy.
Yeah, just let us be happy for Taylor. What does it matter to you?
Yeah. I mean, y'all say like she only writes songs about breakups and all this stuff, but she writes about love in the most beautiful way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't listen to Daylight and not be like, oh,
a weepy mess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like this is how she sees love. And like, I remember one of the critics that came out and talked about the album and like pretty much like said like she's written about love like her entire career, but she has found true love. Like, this is what true love looks like. And she's now finally able to write about it.
Yeah. And I do think she truly loved Joe. I don't think that there's any doubting that. Did it last forever? No. But like, you don't write a song like Daylight not feeling that, you know?
Yeah. I also think like an underrated song that not everyone likes at all is It's Nice to Have a Friend.
Oh, I love that song. It's so simple and so is. Like, yeah, go ahead.
It just like takes you back to when you were 5 years old on the playground and you find someone that like matches your vibe and you're just like, oh, okay. Like, it's nice to have a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like it just takes you back. And like, it makes me think like when she wrote this song, she was in like the very giddy stages of love. Of like,
but I also think that that's like perfectly describes, I think, how like good functional relationships should start. Like, this is like the basis, right? Of like, you want to be friends with the person that you end up with. You know, like you want that to be, at the end of the day, your best friend. So like, that to me is like the very first stepping stone.
Critics of this album welcomed Lover as Swift's return to form and praised her emotional songwriting ability. So, and Lover is a sign of Swift's embracing of forward-looking perspectives. We haven't even talked about The Man. And The Man came out as a single with Miss Americana. Let me just tell you, that music video, number one, is full of Easter eggs that we keep referring back to because it listed like kind of like the order of the re-records.
It did, yeah.
And also predicted Karma. So that was wild.
When we say she's diabolical, we mean she's diabolical. We mean that she's planning things years in advance.
Yes. And Lover was like the first. So like Taylor Swift and all of her music, starting with Debut, she would put Easter eggs in her album. So like with Debut, if you got the CD and the booklet, there was letters that were capitalized. And if you put those letters together, like within the songs, it would give you a message at the end. And she's done that, like random things throughout the years, but like Lover was like the first time that she like really dove into the Easter eggs and was just like she said this on an interview, like, how far in advance can I plan things? Like, can I plan things 3 years in advance? And it's like, she did.
Yeah.
And it's
she
insane.
Does. Yeah.
And so like she talks about like just like Easter eggs like being a game and being a fun thing for the fans and a way for her to connect with the fans too.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I'm just going to sprinkle this here and sprinkle this there. And, you know, like you can pick up things. And I mean, we got this past Friday, we got the behind the scenes of Fortnite music video. And in the behind the scenes of the music video, she was like, so I just thought of an Easter egg and I just decided to put an Easter egg
put it in there. Like, I'm sorry? What?
I was like, what? Also, I love that video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it because Post Malone is so cute in it. He's like, she's like talking and giving him direction. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm like, oh, Posty.
I love it. He's so, he's like, yes. Yeah, this is the queen of, yeah.
And he was so excited about getting to type on a typewriter.
Yeah.
It was so funny. But anyways, yeah. And like, I mean, The Man in general is a song. Binks, we're talking about the fucking patriarchy that you are a part of, so you can stay out there.
So shut up. Max is looking at me. You too. You're also part of it, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, and I loved seeing her writing process of The Man too.
Yeah.
Because we see that in Miss Americana, and kind of just like her talking with Joel Little about like the double standards and of how women are treated. Like she says it in the bridge. Like if she was out throwing money, there would be uproar.
Yeah, she'd be a bitch, not a baller.
And like she says it too. Like I mean, like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Call out Leo for being in Saint Tropez.
Literally date fucking 19-year-olds as a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's praised for it, and he's a fucking baller for doing that. But it's like, if she did that, she's a pedophile. She's a slut.
Right.
She's this. She's like, whatever. And I'm just like, I've literally heard someone call her a pedophile for dating Taylor Lautner, and they were like 2 years apart.
Right.
He was like 17, and she was 19.
Yeah.
What? Do you all like seriously, let's put our thinking caps on here.
Right.
And let's like use our brain.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you were 17 years old and when you were 19 years old? They're essentially the same goddamn age.
Right.
Your brain is the same.
Yeah. It's just this double standard of it all, and like the hypocrisy, and just like, she can't. I mean, and we see it now. She goes on the freaking Eras tour and she breathes, she exhales heavily and her stomach inflates because she's exhaling. Or maybe the girl had freaking 6 mozzarella sticks on for it. It doesn't really matter because she's out there performing a freaking badass tour for 3 hours where she trains harder than any other freaking person is right now. And what was it? She's pregnant immediately. And it's just like.
And then she like addresses it on stage, like with like, but Daddy, I love him. She's like,
no,
I'm not.
No.
I was like, girl, you fucking tell him.
Yeah. Because she's always been just like tired of being told or talked about or whatever because she's a woman.
Women are held to completely different standard than men. And I see that like right now. I mean, watching Love Island, like I can see that watching Love Island right now and reading the comments of people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why aren't we holding men to a different standard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, you'll see this too, but Hakeem.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who Hakeem is paired up with?
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Liv?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, there's an episode coming up, and he talks about giving Liv rules.
Mm-hmm.
Giving her rules. You're not even in a couple first. Like, you're in a couple on Love Island. You're not in a real romantic relationship.
Right.
Giving her rules and being like, these are the things that you need to work on, and I saw that you've been working on these things.
Yeah,
and
you're
like
not gonna tell me that.
Josh was talking about it. He was like, I think her reaction to him was a little over the top. And I said, I dare man after 2 days of knowing him try to give me rules and think I won't call him a piece of shit too.
Right. I'm not your child, so don't give me any rules, period.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to tell me, okay, if you have boundaries and if you have, like, things that you're uncomfortable with and we need to talk about it, that's different. But, like, rules of, like, what I am and am not going to do, you're not going to do that. So, like,
that's a red flag.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely it is. Well, and you saw it on Love Island, too, when they did the higher and lower challenge. And the guys would, like,
God.
The guys would have body counts of, like, literally 100 girls. And then they would say, like, it would only be acceptable for a girl they were dating to have a body count of 10. And I'm like,
yeah.
Sorry, what? You slept with 100 women, but you're not okay with a woman sleeping with more than 10 people before you.
That was when I was like, get him off. Get him off the fucking show. Right now. Like, I'm done with him.
Yeah.
No.
Literally.
And I even said the same thing, like, with Aaron and towards Kaylor too.
Yeah.
Because Aaron had slept with 75 women and Kaylor had slept with 25. And Aaron was just like, ugh. Yeah. I don't like that. And like he made like some slimy ass comment. And I'm just like, you slept with 75 women.
Yeah. Three times what she did. So what are we
like? What are you even talking about? Even if she had slept with 75 men, why the fuck does it matter?
It's not your business.
It's none of your business. And then like when they saw the girls' reactions of just like, oh, this is slimy. I don't like his reaction. I don't like this. I don't like this. Then the guys started to backpedal and we're just like, oh, well, it was just a shock. We don't really care how many people you sleep with. But then we saw what they wanted their women, how many people they wanted their women to have slept with before them. And it was majority of it was low. There was a few, I think like, what was it? Cordell was like Infinity. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Cordell's, I like Cordell, but yeah.
I think Kendall said that too. There was a couple of them that was just like, I don't give a shit.
I don't care.
And like, again, like with a guy that I'm dating, you know, I'm married. Obviously, I'm not gonna be in the dating world. Not going
out here.
But you know, like I don't really care how many women you've slept with.
You didn't know me.
You didn't know me.
Yeah.
You weren't loyal to me. My thing is, how did you treat those women?
Right. Were you an asshole to them? Is all I want to know. Were you an asshole?
Did you ghost them? Like my thing with the ghosting thing was like, I was like, damn. But Cordell's made sense because his brother is Odell Beckham Jr. So that made sense. And like when he explained it, that made a lot of sense. But like, I don't know. Like if you've ghosted 10 plus people, I just feel like that's a red flag.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah, I don't be. I got to tell you something
let's communicate.
Yeah, I got to tell you something about something later, but yeah.
Essentially what we're going to say to Love Island and Lover, especially because I think Taylor Swift did a really good job of communicating her feelings. And the people on Love Island are not good at communicating their feelings. And I think that's why it makes Love Island so entertaining because I'm just
so
like,
messy.
If you would just like use your big boy words and your big girl words, it would be completely different. And this situation would not end with you screaming at each other.
Communication, man.
Let's talk. Let's talk. And there's one scene between Janae and Serena, and I was like, communication, good, apologies, accountability, all the things happen. And I'm like, that is good communication. I love that. But everybody else, I'm just like, especially Rob, I'm like, oh God. And he just keeps fumbling the fucking bag because he can't speak.
Because he can't communicate. Yeah. Open your mouth. Yep.
Open your mouth. Use your big boy words. Don't go and cry in a corner. Because you can't find the right words to say. I get that it's frustrating and it's overwhelming, but like, let's not throw a tantrum as a grown man. Yeah.
Which I have a lot of things that I shut down a lot with communication.
Yeah.
But, however, I communicate. Also, I'm shutting down. I'm having a really hard time, like, saying what I want to say. Like, I just need a second from this. So, like, there's ways to, like, express even what you're feeling and, like, what you're going through in relationships without just being, like, or, like, not being clear. You know, if you need a second to process, say that.
That's fine. Like, if you need a few hours to process, that's fine, too. You need to go crawl, like, jump in a pool and hide under a pool deck. That's perfectly fine if you need to do that to figure out your feelings. I don't know if you've got to that part yet. But, like, you can do that. That's fine. And, like, it's fine to cry, too, because you're so frustrated and so overwhelmed. Like, I get that. Like, that. I'm not saying, like, men crying is a turn off or anything like that.
Right,
it's not.
Y'all can cry.
I'm saying, like, journal your emotions, what you're feeling, so that the next day when you have a conversation, you can express your feelings accurately and then don't blindside people the next time. Because that's not okay. So, I think that's like one thing to bring it back to Taylor and Lover.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that we've talked about with Taylor is I think she has like very strong emotional intelligence because she uses that pen.
Yeah.
And she writes out her feelings and she sings her feelings and she dances her feelings, which is all the things needed to release.
Right.
And like, that's what she's talked about, like with All Too Well. Like, not only did the fans change her perspective of the song, but like the more she sang it, the more she like got it out there. And just like writing it in general was probably like super therapeutic for her.
Right.
But like it is, all of those things are releases.
Right.
And like what we tell our clients to do. Like, you go through a bad breakup, what is one of the first things that like people say for you to do? Why don't you just go and dance it out?
Yeah. Yep. Get it out of your system.
Yeah. So go
over and over and over again.
Journal, dance, sing.
Yeah.
Like, that's why singing is so good. Like, especially like just singing along to these songs too.
Yeah.
Like scream, sing, I forgot that you existed. About that dumbass ex-boyfriend, you know?
Taylor's my unpaid therapist, for real. I got a paid one and I got an unpaid one. She's the unpaid one.
And I mean, we've talked about the like beautiful lyricism of this album. And we touched on it briefly last week with 1989, because 1989 inspired the movie Something Great, or Someone Great. And then Taylor Swift was inspired by Someone Great to write Death by a Thousand Cuts. And she wrote this song when she was happy in a relationship, and it is a breakup song. And it has one of the best bridges. When she was talking about this song, she said that she was inspired by the movie, and that's where she got the idea to write it. But then she also wanted to see if she could still write a breakup song after being happy for so long.
Yeah.
And when she, like, after she wrote it, she was like, I still got it.
I still got it.
I was like, it's so cute.
And she sure as shit did, because it is a good ass song. Because, and it, just the symbolism of, like, it's not just one thing. Usually that ends like a really hard breakup. It's like a million little things, you know?
Yeah. It's Death by a Thousand Cuts.
Like,
I poured all of myself into this person, and now it's just over. Like, what am I supposed to do with this information?
Yeah.
You know? Like, I know all of these different pieces of you, and you know all these different pieces of me. Like, and we're just supposed to go out into the world and keep it going?
Yeah.
That is literally Death by a Thousand Cuts. That is so painful.
Yeah.
This album came out my first semester of grad school. So it came out, and we were still like, I remember like I have like a visual imagery of it, of like being in my new living room, sitting on this couch, and no, we didn't even have a couch. We had like two like lawn chairs, and Josh came home from work, and he worked, and he didn't get off work until like 11 or something. And so then he didn't make it home until probably closer to 1, because they had to close down and everything. And when he came home, I was like, you have to listen to this album. Like, with me. You just have to like sit here and listen to this album with me. And I just remember like sitting there with like the light reflecting from the apartment kitchen, and like the TV on the new TV stand, and like sitting in these lawn chairs together, just like sipping wine and like listening to this album with Josh. And like, he was like, obviously Josh isn't like a huge Taylor Swift fan, but like he's forced to listen to Taylor because of me. But he was like I remember after Death by a Thousand Cuts, like he was like, damn, okay, what was it? I think it was Cornelia Street. He was like, ooh. He's like, I really like this song. And I'm like, Cornelia Street? Wow, okay. But I love that song too. And then London Boy, I didn't know forever that the beginning of London Boy was Idris Elba. I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, did she put Joe on this? And then,
No.
and then like now I'm just like, he would never do that.
Yeah. Not the Joe we know.
I don't think that this album and this era got enough love, and maybe it was because of COVID, because COVID cut it short, and like we were supposed to have Loverfest, which was like 5 shows in Boston and 5 shows in LA. We didn't get that.
Maybe. I love it, and I've always loved it. It was one of the... Actually, here she is.
There she is.
She's one of the first vinyls that I got.
So cute.
There she is.
So pretty. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
my booklets are in the living room on display.
One of these days I'm going to get record shelving. But, like, you know, for anybody, I mean, I think I've talked about it before, but, like, my goal was to get all the vinyls, and, like, Reputation and Lover were my 2 first ones because they're my favorites. Well, since before Tortured Poets Department. But still, just, like, I hold such a special place. I remember I was working, I was at a client's house, and I saw Taylor come on Good Morning America. And I don't remember what she sang. It was probably me. Mm-hmm. And I was just entranced. My client was also entranced. And I was like, watch this. We have to watch this. We have to watch this. And she was like, okay. And I was like, after we, we'll do whatever we need to do, but, like, we have to watch this. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's just... I remember
that performance. She was in that pink, like, mesh top.
Yes.
And those, like, sparkly shorts and everything. I was like, this is, like, the cutest outfit ever. I remember watching it.
Yeah. And I still love her dyed tips of her hair. And, like, I loved everything about that era. And so, it's such a vibe.
Her outfits during that era were just so cute. And so...
They were so good.
She looks so pretty in pastels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, and her hair was, like, she had the bangs, and it was, like, kind of like shoulder length, and it was kind of like wavy all the time, and it was so good. I wore the freaking Lover heart around my eye at the Eras tour because I was just like, this is my...
Yeah, I was gonna do that, and then I can't remember why I didn't do it. I think Courtney probably knows because I was like having like a panic attack before Eras tour. So
Jessica did mine, and Jessica did such a good job. She was gonna do it to hers. We just didn't have time, but she did such a good job on mine that I was, like, eternally grateful.
Mm-hmm. So I know we said Lover didn't get the love that it deserved. And I still don't think it did, but it did. It got nominations for Favorite Album of the Year at the People's Choice Awards, Best International Artist at the ARIA Awards, and 2 Album Sales Awards at Buzz Ankle Awards. And then at the 2019 American Music Awards, Swift was honored Artist of the Decade, and Lover won Favorite Pop Rock Album. And winning 4 other awards, Swift was the most awarded Artist of the Night, and with 29 wins was the most awarded in AMA's history. Also at the VMAs that year, So You Need to Calm Down won Video of the Year, and Me won Best Visual Effects, and the man won Best Direction. So, and then Lover was nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album at the 62nd Grammy Awards. So it got some love, but, like, not enough love, And
but here's the thing, like,
her AMA's performance.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too, like, those are from, like, critics who are, like, supposed to be, like, listening for her lyrics and her music and stuff, which was amazing. But, like, I feel like the fans weren't. The general public did not appreciate it enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like her super big fans probably did, and then, like, her, like, the critics who are listening for those things that she's so good at, but, like, the general public did not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does, and I think that's reflected, like, on the Eras tour, like, how she opens up with Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. Like, it's such a like gradual like build up song, and it's just like so amazing, and then it goes right into Cruel Summer. Like it's like this is an album that opens up the Eras tour because it is her brightest, happiest, loving album.
It just encompasses who she is, you know?
Yeah. Like who she is as like a person and as an artist. That like
right. And I think like it's her way of saying like, this is my love letter to my fans. Like,
yes,
you're about to see like my greatest display of my love for what I do and for you guys. You're about to see that for the next 3 hours. So let me open with this to show you what this all is about to be.
Yeah. And I think that's another reason why she does that speech in front, like before Lover too. Because she's just like this album, these songs were songs that she wrote about her life, but now they're out there for the fans.
Yeah.
They're for the fans. They're not for her anymore. She's like, they're for you guys. And like you guys have changed the whole outlook of these songs forever.
Yeah.
So,
our sweet Taylor.
Love it. Our Miss Americana.
Our Miss Americana.
And also Tree and Miss Americana. So cute. How they were both like posting it, and they were both just like freaking out about it. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Shout out to Tree Payne because she's
shout out to Tree Payne. Nobody does it like she does.
I saw a like a tweet earlier today, and it was of this like woman that was walking like aggressively and like just kind of like badassly.
Yeah.
And the caption was just like Tree Payne while Taylor is yapping on stage about something.
Yeah.
I was like
so true.
And like and then it had like the video posted underneath and was like, this is the video I'm referring to, and it shows Tree like walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
And you can hear Taylor talking on stage, just like yapping, just going to town, and Tree's just like, and there's like a little intern following behind her. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. But yeah, anyways, to wrap up Lover, everyone just go listen to it.
Go listen to Lover. Spend your week with Lover.
We didn't even talk about All of the Girls. That's another song that came out.
Yeah.
Was there another one that came out? Am I crazy?
No, I think that was it. But yes, that was like an added bonus song, kind of. That was a vault track, I guess, but she didn't. She just kind of released that. Yeah.
And I mean, we also got the like Lover Live from Paris too.
Yeah.
That came out on Disney Plus, and like that whole like, if you ever question Taylor Swift's vocal abilities, just go listen to Cornelia Street and Daylight from Lover Live from Paris, and you will never say that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was another thing, because Paris is the city of love. So I love that she decided to do a concert there for them. Like, that's okay. Well, we're going to end it because Binks is streaming.
Okay.
Now that we've talked about Lover and Stephen King, you know,
all in one episode.
We're going to wrap up, and I'm going to go feed this cat that is sitting outside my door screaming.
Yeah.
I hear you, Banks.
Well, what's your intention for the week?
My intention for the week is to get up every day by 7 a.m.
Hey, we like that.
I work on my own, you know, I make my own schedule and all that stuff. And there's some times where I can literally just lay in bed until like 9, 10 o'clock, and I do it. But also I feel like I wasted part of my morning, and there's a lot of things that I could get accomplished, and all of those things. So I think that's my intention for the week, is waking up at 7 a.m.
I like that. I'll try to hold you accountable to that.
I know, because I can do it.
I like mornings are hard. Yeah.
You know, I like my sleep, but I love my coffee. So
yeah,
it's a hard life. It's champagne problems, you know?
Champagne problems. I say that about everything. Like, if I, like, am annoyed by something at work, I'm like, oh, God, I know, champagne problems, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's your intentions?
Well, I guess this is in continuation of intentions. I've been getting up every morning at like 5 and walking, because I get up at like 5:45 anyways. But 5 is like before it's like 1,000 degrees outside. Max is usually good with a walk at 5. I've been usually doing that, so I think I'm going to try to keep that up this week. It kind of starts my day off pretty good, so yeah. And also, I canceled, okay, we should be proud of me, because I did have a Planet Fitness membership, but it's all the way across town from where I'm at, so I never used it. So I have been paying $10 a month for the last year and a half. I haven't used it. I canceled it the other day, because you could cancel it online now. So I went ahead and canceled it. Oh my God, Kate's choking to death. Oh my God.
Ooh, okay.
I would call 911, but they're probably like, we're not coming. But so I canceled my Planet Fitness membership. So there is an Anytime Fitness, like literally the street over from me. Like hop, skip, and a jump. It's more expensive. What's happening?
Josh just texted me and said, "Bro, is you good?" I'm sorry.
That's funny. I'm good. We're just choking on water.
And I'm good. Because I'm miserable.
And nobody
everybody knows. Everybody knows now.
Everybody knows.
Anyways. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Dead. No, you're fine. What was I saying?
You're going to, did you say Total Fitness?
Oh, Anytime Fitness.
Anytime Fitness.
Yeah. So, we'll see. I'm going to get a membership there. It's more expensive, but I hear it's like a good environment, and it's like, it's 24/7, and it's locked. So, you need a key fob to get in. So, like, it's safe. So yeah,
I swear the Planet Fitness here, you can just walk in.
You can, yeah.
Like
anybody can just walk in.
They don't even look like you can walk by and like do the little scan, and like if you have any barcode, as long as it like dings, like they're not paying attention to if it actually like pulls up your membership or not.
Anytime is like I don't think that they're staffed 24/7, but I think that you have to have your key fob to even get in the building. So yeah. It makes me feel kind of safer. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I got a call today about the, like, Pilates.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
So they're going to call me with, like, an intro class. But they also told me with my history of, like, already, like, doing Pilates, I can just go to, like, a reform class, which kind of just, like, touches up on the basics of it. Mm-hmm. But it's $30. And I was like, I would rather just do the free intro class.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. And somebody texted me about that, about doing the Pilates class. So
I think I'm going to try the free intro class because I've never used any of the, like, Pilates equipment.
Right.
So I've done Pilates workouts, but I've never done, like, used the equipment. And I still have my, like, I feel like it takes a lot to lose core strength. But, like, I was doing some, like, stretches the other day, and I was like, I still got my core strength.
Yeah. Well, let me know how that goes. Check it out.
You let me know how Anytime Fitness goes.
Yeah. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
We're very fit these days, everybody.
We're trying. I have my appointment this week for my ankle, so we'll see if I can actually, like, work out or not.
Yeah.
So I haven't really done my walking like usual because of that, because my ankle just hurts so bad. So
right.
Anyways, I'm sorry, Banks. We're wrapping up. Shit.
Our producer is telling us that we need to wrap it up in the studio. So
yeah, the producer is saying it's time for dinner.
It's time for dinner. So
he's gonna be really happy when I have to shove that pill down his throat later.
All right, well, everybody go read Stephen King and listen to Lover.
Yes, everyone do that. And meow at your cat.
And meow at your cats.
Well, we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Love you. Bye.